Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my Master Your Marketing Masterclass. And in my hot seat today, I have Lisa Steadman from California. Lots of my favorite yummy girls are from the West Coast, which is super fun, right next door. She's got this glorious painting behind her that I keep looking at. So enjoy the painting that she just got from a client of hers with us today. She's going to really help us with online marketing, really getting clear on how to get your message out to the world. So I'm super excited to have you today, Lisa. How are you?
I'm doing so well. Thank you for having me. And yeah, just shout out to my Belgium client, Hanny Wearing. The minute she started working with me and I saw this photo on Instagram, I was like, I have to have this painting. And actually there's a poem written in the background of the painting that's all about mentorship. So it's very like serendipitous that like I chose this painting, and I mean, it's amazing.
Oh, that's even more special. It's not just pretty, it's got a meaning.
Oh, it's like meaningful and beautiful. We love that.
I do love that. That's gorgeous. I'm gonna have to follow her on Instagram.
Yes.
Check out
oh my gosh. She's got super inspiring posts and her work is amazing.
I love it. Love it. Love empowering women. That's what I'm here all about. So tell us your journey. Give us a little sneak peek in Lisa land. What's that like? How did you get to where you are? Once upon a time.
Yeah, right. Well, that's such a loaded question, but I'll keep it short and sweet. So my background, I've always been a professional writer. My background is in branding and marketing and messaging, and I did that as a freelance writer for most of my 20s, and then I was headhunted by Mattel to go and write about Barbie, which for this girl, like, I'm still waiting to look like her. You look like her. I'm still waiting to look like her. But that was my dream job. I'd never really worked for anyone before, but I was like, well, that's a dream job I'm going to say yes to. So I spent 4.5 years at Mattel branding Barbie, building a new brand for them for adult doll collectors, interviewing doll designers. I mean, it was literally like my childhood dreams come true.
Wow.
And that was amazing until I fell in love with a man who was 3 cubicles away, and he was Mr. Wrong, and I was so Ms. Wrong for him too. And when that relationship went south, my feelings about the job changed, and I realized I got to get out of here. So because I'm very school of life anyway, and because I like to write about what interests and confounds me, I left Mattel and launched a very successful brand as a breakup expert. I never set out to spend the rest of my life talking to people about breakups, but I was like, this is what I'm going through, and I want to change what's happening for men and women around the area of breakups. To me, it's not the end of the journey, it's the beginning of a new journey. So that led to my 3 best-selling books. It's A Breakup, Not a Breakdown, If He's Not the One Who Is, How to Marry Your Husband.
Wow.
And then every time I worked with women or men as a coach around breakups or relationships, when we got through the work that we had agreed to do, whether it was getting them over a breakup or helping them find love, they would always say to me, this business you built, tell me how to build that. And I really loved that more than I loved the breakup support. So I really transitioned and was like, what is my true passion? What are my gifts? And what am I really here to do? It's to help people show up, stand out, shine in the spotlight for all of who they are, no apologies. And how I specifically do that is through messaging, marketing, and online magnetism.
Oh, I love it. All the M's.
Yeah, I'm an alliteration junkie, so you'll just have to bear with me.
It's a gift. It's beautiful. And just a side note, my nickname in high school was Barbie.
Oh my God, you're so lucky. Like, seriously, I'm still waiting to look like her. And you
I would love the waist. I'm still trying to get the waist.
Well, I hear those waist trainers just crush all your organs. Otherwise, I'd recommend them.
I know, right? Didn't we learn from the 40s, 50s when they were yanking?
Yeah. And the truth is, scientific research says Barbie would fall over if she was a real human being.
Yes.
So we got to put down the fantasy, but sometimes you just are like, damn, you look good, girl.
That's right. There's lots of beautiful flair out there. There's definitely not one flavor of beauty.
Yes, and I love that because we really, in the world we live in, we've so expanded our definition of beauty to encompass all shapes, all sizes, all colors. And that's what's really beautiful. So, and actually Mattel has followed suit with that. And I don't work for them anymore, but I do still buy their products. And I bought the curvy Barbie because I was like, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and tell you that I approve of this direction.
Yeah.
So bring it on, ladies. Let's all celebrate our beauty.
Absolutely. I love not to get too off on a subject, but I have a 13-year-old daughter, and American Girl dolls were really the big thing, to get a doll that looked like you.
Yes.
So that has really, I think, helped the next generation with their own body image and so on too.
I hope so. Yeah. I think all of those messages, we're just so bombarded, whether we know it or not. So the more we can help women, even young women and girls, understand that whatever they end up looking like. I'm laughing because I helped raise my 6-year-old niece, and we were swimming the other day, and we had her for science camp, and so we had her with us full time, and we went swimming after science camp. And I got out of the pool, and she was like, "Cece, you're jiggling," and she was like, "Your butt's jiggling," and I'm someone who had body issues for a lot of years. I so don't have them anymore. And I said to her, because I'm so clear, I don't want her to have them either.
Yeah.
I said, every woman has a jiggle. It might be boobs, it might be butt, but we all got a jiggle, and that's what makes us amazing. And then I thought, oh my God, her dad's a string bean. What if she never gets it? I ruined her.
Oh, no, right?
Now
I can't win.
I don't have a jiggle.
You're like, jiggle's what makes men crazy, sweetie.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh shit, what if she doesn't get a jiggle? Oh, I'm ruining her.
She'll be over there eating French fries. It's okay.
I know. Here I am trying to empower her, and I'm like, oh, she'll be the one skinny person in the family,
Aw, it's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. I think we really have broken through a lot of barriers in the world of women, and just,
I'm so happy to be at this time and space.
Yes.
Not politically, but
right. But
gender
conscious, for the conscious and aware tribe that we belong to.
Yeah.
We've got kind of a different vibration we're putting out there for sure.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. Speaking of vibration, okay, I call myself a woo-woo business coach, and I know you can, yeah, exactly. I don't know if that's a cheer or, whoa, she's weird, but
I love it.
Because I don't usually tell people, but I'm an intuitive. I'm energetic. I can read energy. I can see things. I get visions. I've got my stones everywhere. Life is good. I've got my little beads around my necks for grounding. So when you say, until people can feel you, they can't find you. I love that you use the word feel, because that resonates with people like me, an empath. It's like, oh yeah, I can, it's not just what you've typed. I can feel the energy behind the words. So kind of go into that a little bit for us.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure. So everything I do is intuitive too. So I'm so glad we're in that same tribe and of that same mind. So the thing that I have discovered over the years, when I look at people who have been successful versus those who have tried and failed and really struggled, is it's not about how brilliant you are. It's not about how talented you are. There are plenty of insanely talented people who are not doing well online. Yeah. And there's several not so talented people who are killing it because they know how to energetically magnetize. So I always say to my clients and anyone I'm doing trainings with, it's all about energetic consistency. And if you know how to show up in the same frequency day in and day out and consistently show up, so you're not hiding when it's uncomfortable, you're like literally showing up even though it is uncomfortable some days, that's how people feel you and find you. And the other key to that is show up as all of you, not just the parts that you deem appropriate or acceptable or likable, because it's typically those kind of shadow sides of ourselves that are what really draws that ideal client in, because they're looking to find acceptance for their own shadow sides.
Ooh, good stuff. Oh, I love that book from Debbie Ford.
Yes. Yeah, I was telling you.
The Dark Side of the Light Chasers? Yeah.
I just packed that book away as we're packing our house. I was like, oh, Debbie, hi.
Yeah, she's visiting us today in our interview.
Yeah.
How special.
Yeah.
God bless her. I love that book too. It did open up a lot. You're right, though, about the shadows. It's always it's more like, and I tell my clients too, it's that one secret that's in the closet that you locked and double bolted that is probably the one thing you need to share with your tribe that's going to get the most attraction. You're going to pull those people in by the bucket loads. And it's the one thing we won't talk about. It could be, I used to be an alcoholic. It could be I had an eating disorder. It could be I cheated on my husband 10 times. I'm not saying to go dig up your dirty laundry, but if you've overcome it, just kind of say, look, I'm human. This has happened.
We love an underdog story as humans. We love an
Yeah.
underdog story. And especially when you're building your own business, it is difficult. It is hard. It is challenging. I'd rather learn from someone who stumbled and bumbled and found success after hitting rock bottom than someone who never failed, because I don't know that they know what the journey is like for those of us who try and fail a lot before we succeed.
Right. It's how you pick yourself back up.
Yes, that's what's so interesting is like, I actually was having a difficulty yesterday with a client, and there was a little like, I was actually surprised by this. My victim showed up, my victim energy. I was like, whoa.
Where'd she come from?
Yeah, I was like, I thought that shit was done. And I woke up today and I was like, oh no, she's not in the building anymore. We are coming from an empowered space. I stood up for my team. I was like, you can't treat us like this, and I'm respecting you. You need to respect. And it was like, oh, I lost her voice for a minute. And it's so important for us to honor self, because when you honor self, it allows you to honor everyone else. If you throw yourself under the bus in the name of success or money or happiness or clients, your clients are going to see that. And that's not a great lesson for them in how to treat you or how to live.
Right. Absolutely. No, I couldn't agree more. So when we're putting ourselves out there authentically, energetically,
yes,
and we're portraying this online, how exactly does this relate on the online message? Because I know there's a lot of people that are really good at Facebook. They're not even in business. They just mastered the social media town.
Yeah.
I'm like, shoot, all those followers and you're not making any money?
I know, and they could be. They
Yeah.
totally could be. And there's different models. There's definitely different models. But when you show up in consistent energy, that is how people feel you and find you. And that is how you can start to sell. Now, I never say sell right away, because you want to build a relationship. We're not here to dig in people's wallets. We're here to build relationships.
Right.
And the only way to build a relationship is to have a two-way street where you see and hear and acknowledge and honor the person on the other end of the relationship. This is something that's so important to me, because the way I was taught from my one business coach that I hired was just get money and move on. And I thought, that doesn't feel good to me. How can I sleep at night if I do that? Like, for me, I'm teaching a model that I wasn't taught, because I want to show people how to be of service and make money. But it's not make money without service. It has to come from service. Otherwise, you won't have repeat business. You won't be in business for long. And word gets around. It's a small world online.
Yes.
So really be willing to show up and share every day, regardless of what your mood is. I mean, get yourself right so you're not like bipolar. But ultimately, you want to show up and share and engage every single day with your audience. Engage them, whether they're paying you or they're watching you or they're commenting or they're listening. It's all, we are in the commerce of community and followers. So whether someone pays you or they refer you or they just watch everything you do, that has commerce to it.
I agree 100%. So what is your favorite? Is Facebook one of your favorite platforms to play on? I mean, everyone's got their favorite out of social media.
So I almost broke up with Facebook. The whole algorithm thing just really turned me off. I had built a very successful 10,000 fan following on Facebook. And because of the algorithm, I could no longer reach those 10,000 people unless I wanted to pay. And I said, I built this organically. I'm not going to pay for my organic piece. And literally nobody was seeing my stuff. I would get 1 or 2 likes, whereas before the algorithm, it was hundreds.
Yeah.
So I shifted my model. Now I'm in love with Facebook, but here's how I use it and here's how I teach others to use it. I am active in my Facebook group, but I'm not really active anywhere else because that algorithm is not user friendly.
Right.
So Facebook groups are one of my favorite places to hang out. And I do lots of trainings and lots of free and generous giving in my It Factor for Entrepreneurs community. I also am really digging Instagram. I love just telling visual stories about life and what you're interested in, what you're passionate about. And you can learn so much about people just from seeing a snapshot of their daily life.
Yep. When you land on their Instagram, it's like you just got a tour of their life. You're just like, whoa, so much information.
And if you look, so I'm looking at mine lately and I'm like, okay, so apparently I love coffee.
I know, right?
Apparently,
It's like a snapshot.
I'm always on my laptop, and apparently I'm madly in love with my niece. And sometimes you'll see my husband, you know, like literally, I'm like, wow, this is interesting. Okay.
As an afterthought, I know, right? Or someone's always posting sunsets or, you know, or whatever. We've got our things, you know, told to us, but it's like landing in someone's brain. You're just like, whoa, this is what it's all about in seconds. It's good information. I like Instagram as well. Facebook, Instagram is kind of my playground too. I agree with you on the algorithms. I did switch to groups, you know, pretty early on and was like, at least they're getting a notification, or if they participate a lot, they can get the notifications. It's just hit or miss when you've got thousands that that are on your page still that, you know, it's just kind of a hit or miss. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating. Yeah. So let's talk about those people that are really good at Facebook or social media, but they want to actually start from scratch. So do you work with a lot of startups?
So I work with people in a couple different areas. One is somebody who is coming from corporate and has been doing something really successfully for someone else for a really long time. And whether they got outsourced, downsized, or quit, and I celebrate all those because it's an end and a beginning, and I love that beginning. I work with those kinds of individuals to help them take what they've already been doing and message and market it in a way where they get to be front and center. And so for a lot of those people, they've been comfortable killing it for somebody else, but being visible scares the shit out of them.
Yes, it does.
So I work with people in that space. I also work with a lot of healers and creative types who are so good at what they do, but this whole messaging, marketing, packaging, like what? Like you want me to like figure out the nuts and bolts and how and strategy? And so I'm like, let my brain worry about that. You worry about being brilliant and sharing your gifts with the world. But those tend to be the two spaces and places that I love to play in with people.
Yeah, I attract those two. And those spiritual type need more structure than anybody. They're very, you know, they're in a different realm half the time, and we're trying to pull them into a structured piece. And they're like, I don't even check my email, Carrie. I have one client's like, if you do email me, could you text me that I need to check my email? I'm like, oh boy.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
But they're so good at what they do. They can harness such, you know, they can even fill seminars.
Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just trying to harness the business structure. I'm, you know, not a corporate junkie, but I did escape the corporate world or the cubicle or whatever you want to call it. You know, I did years of entrepreneurship, go back to school in my mind. This is how it was for me. I see jobs as a university or a way to learn something and then leave it, jump into the next opportunity. Yeah. So it's like a resting place to learn. You outgrow it, which happens quickly in the corporate world. You hit the ceiling and it's time to move on. And that's kind of been my journey as I escape. Hopefully I've escaped forever because I don't ever plan on going back. I don't think I could ever, you can pay me enough to work for someone else. Like, I'd rather be broke on a beach than work for a corporate ever again. And that's the truth.
That is ownership.
I'm just putting it out there.
I love that. I totally get that.
Yeah. Freedom. You can't put a price tag on it. You just can't.
I haven't worked for someone else in 13 years and I can't imagine it. My husband was a corporate dude when he met me, and then he's like, that entrepreneur thing looks great. And I'm like, do you not hear the voices in my head? Because I was just starting out back then, and I'm like, do you not hear how hard this is? And so he's gone back and forth, and he does a lot of different things. But it's so interesting to see when he does go back into a corporate setting. I just feel the restlessness. He's like this, you know, and I always say to him, like, babe, totally support you. Whatever you decide, just talk to me before you quit.
Right.
Just so I can feel like we are on the same page with this decision. Because I always say whatever your decision is your decision, and I support it. But I joke that, like, I'd like a heads up.
Yeah. It feels like adult daycare, and cubicles feel like playpens.
Gosh, I know.
I can't leave. I have to be back at this time, and I only get a half an hour for lunch. Whatever, just the strict restrictions.
The trade-off. So you get a paycheck every 2 weeks, but there's a limit on how much you make. And yes, like just what you said about I have to be back. I remember that. Ooh, that just totally
yucky, huh?
Time that did not feel good.
I left the corporate world. It's been 4 years now. I'm definitely not looking back, but for the last time. So, you know, it's just good stuff to just say, good. What's next? You
Yeah.
know, and create your
Yes.
own.
What's next?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's much more fun and empowering. I love it. So let's talk a little bit about this magnetizing message, or M's, because you say you can kind of build a visibility campaign around it. I just kind of walk us through what that looks like if I were a client or you were just giving me some advice. I love
Yes.
the word magnetize, manifest, miracles. I love the M words too. So shed some light on that.
Yes. Well, so magnetism really starts with who we are at our core, and it's our personality. And you don't have to be an extrovert. I actually had this question on a Q&A I was doing on Zoom earlier today. Do I have to be a big personality to be visible? And I was like, she's been watching too many of my videos and thinks she has to be like me. And I was like, no, you don't. Be your lane. Own your lane and own your strengths. If you have a quiet, calming energy, own that.
Yeah.
If you are out there and wild and wacky, own that. If you're a slice of each, own that. So magnetism at its core is who you innately are and the energy you show up with. The next step of that is, okay, how do we put language to that? What are the words and phrases that you use to set yourself apart from allegedly everyone who does what you do, but there's really only one you? And so this is where thesaurus.com becomes your best friend, because you go, oh, they say ignite. Let me go check out other synonyms for ignite. My process is very intuitive. You think of like an old train station with the letters changing for like the next destination, you know, Copenhagen now becomes Luxembourg. That's what my brain does when I talk to people. And I'm like,
that's a great visual.
Yeah. I listen, and then I go, I think what you're saying is, and I'm actually having a lot of fun with this in a webinar series I'm doing right now on messaging, sizzle, and marketing strategy, because people literally get to email me their messaging. And I'm like, I think what you mean is, and then deliver it back to them. And they're like, oh my God, how'd you come up with that? And I'm like, it's not me, it's you. I'm just downloading you. I'm just getting you. So part of this you may need help with, but the key here is just start with thesaurus.com. Type in words that resonate for you and see if maybe there's a deeper level of that word or phrase that you can use. Also, look at what other people are doing that you like, that you want to not copy, because none of us are copycats. We're all true originals. So look at what other people are doing that you can be inspired by and go, okay, what's my version of that? How would I say that? What's my lane for this or that, or what, you know, like really finding your unique way to say it. And oftentimes you find what your messaging is by the consistent things your clients say to you. You know, whether it's, you know, you helped, and literally it factor came out of enough of my clients going, wow, you really gave me my it factor. And I was like, well, that was easy. I couldn't have made that up if I tried.
Right.
So pay attention to what clients, and if you don't have clients yet, pay attention to what people in your life consistently say about you. People said to me before I was ever in business, and I get this from my mother, so I come by it naturally, I love your energy. I'm not putting this on. I don't get up in the morning and I'm not like Eeyore and going, oh, I gotta be Tigger. Like, that's not how it works. Be who you naturally are and find a language that mirrors that. So if you are more mellow, don't use a lot of exclamation points.
Right.
If you're someone who wants to be known as trusted, use language that's a little less flowery than someone who wants to be more fun. And again, there's nothing wrong with being fun or trusted. You can actually be both. It's how you marry these different parts and pieces. And again, this is part of having messaging magnetism is really deeply knowing who you are and what you have to say. And even if you start by fumbling and bumbling through your message, you're going to get to the gold.
I couldn't agree more. I like that. My book's called Permission to Be Me.
Oh, I love that.
I published it last summer, and there's 2 more behind it. And it's kind of fun because you just touched on all of that basically was. And if you've not done any self-development, this is a good excuse to do it, because it is a time to go inward. It's hard to brand yourself if you don't know who that yourself is. You know, it's like, who is Carrie anyway? You know, that kind of takes a whole different level to everything, especially if you've lived a life like me where it's not okay to be Carrie. You have to be all this or this person, or you have to look this way and act this way. And you talk too much, sit down, go in a corner.
Yes.
All of those rules show up, and you get to work with a coach like yourself or someone, you know, similar or equivalent that says, guess what? You get to peel the layers back and be you.
I feel like we're long lost soul sisters. I was raised in a house where I was the black sheep, and my father, who was a guidance counselor, was tell me your feelings, and my mother was like, I don't want to hear it. So very mixed messages.
Yeah.
But the ultimate message was don't be you. Whatever you do, don't be you.
Yeah. That's not good enough. Keep trying. Yeah.
And I got really clear a couple years ago that what I'm really here to do, whether it's spending time with my niece, being with my husband, being with my friends, I'm really here to give people permission to be in the full expression of who they are. How I do that as a business is through branding and messaging and marketing. But really, this is about how you give yourself permission to stop apologizing and stop hiding and really start showing up and playing full out as the you that you know you can be. Even, I mean, we're all works in progress till the day we die. So just get on board with being imperfect. It's awesome.
It's good. It's good stuff. I love it too, because that's what's going to attract your ideal tribe.
Yes.
By all means. There's something about the quirkiness that we think we're supposed to hide somewhere. I'm a theater major. So at any minute, a different dialect will fly out of my mouth. Yeah. When you, especially after a glass of wine or two.
Oh, I love it. We got to have some wine together.
I know, right? They're like, oh, which Carrie was that one? You know, like, oh, that was Natasha, you know, or from Russia. You just kind of like throw this, or it's the British Carrie or whatever. And it's just, I don't even realize I do it sometimes because was ingrained. I did years of theater. So you just throw in a different character to be silly. And when I'm speaking on stage, I have to check, okay, is this audience okay with this? Is this other Carrie going to show up? And it's funny when that other Carrie shows up, and it sounds like I have multiple personalities, and I don't. Just to clear that up. They love it. Yeah, just personas. I just mix it up, make it fun. But they love that part. They're like, oh, no, she did. She just totally turned into somebody else. Or she just mimicked, she sounded like my mom just now. You know, so it's just, it took so long for me to go, you just got to be her, all of her. Yeah. You know, that's 43 years of stuff that's showing up today, you know, I get to be it all.
That's all of us.
Right. That's the flair we bring.
Yeah. If we deny the journey we've been on, man, we're missing the boat.
Right. Right. I'm like, if my happy hour girlfriends like fun Carrie, why wouldn't people from the stage in the audience want fun Carrie? You know,
I love that.
And you know, and same with, like, you tapped on something too. Energy is something I've always heard too. And again, you know, those rules in the corporate world are like, shh, you're too much.
Yeah, tone it down.
Smaller. Be smaller. Your personality's so big. I'm like, that's why I'm your top producer. Get away from me. Let me go make things happen.
That's an asset to you guys, whether you know it or not.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, that's why you hired me for the publicity stuff. So it's beautiful. But when you step into your own business, it's like all those rules get to just wash down the drain. You get to just create as you go. And there's no one censoring that part of you anymore. So it is a process. There's some self-development there. It's not just marketing, that's for sure. I wish it were that simple, but it's some layers that we peel back. I love that you do this. This is so yummy. The beautiful part too is what you teach can be used in any platform because it is the words, you know, and it's, again, it's the energy behind it. We feel it. I'm sure you've seen this too, where you kind of almost feel a mixed message with someone's post or ad. You're like, I know what you're saying, but what I'm feeling.
Yes. And this is so important. And I'm raising my hand because I have had the experience, as I'm sure a lot of our audience has had the experience. I've met people who I loved online, and then we took it offline, whether it was a Skype call, a video call, or in person. And it was a completely different person. It was like, wait, I'm confused. Their energy was so different offline than it was online. And I get that happens occasionally, but ultimately we're talking about being ourselves. So if we're misrepresenting the truth of who we are, people are going to feel that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they don't have to be intuitives and empaths. They can feel it anyway. Don't ever disregard that. Yeah. I agree 100%. 100%. I think we have like time for maybe one more quick question from you that I want to get to. Because like places like Facebook and Facebook groups, I'm sure you have free groups. How do you kind of segue from the giving? And this is a big one for people that have been in business or starting their business to giving. Because I have a goddess tribe, about just under 400 women, where I just throw out intuitive, empathic support. That's all it is. And yes, they've read the book and so on too. So it's kind of like a book fan club too, but it's just my heart goes out to women that are empaths that don't know how to understand their gifts. So how do you segue from the free? Because it is so hard to stop and go, wait, all right, how does this go into a paying client? Because I can't do this free forever, this freebie dance.
I know.
Help.
This is my favorite thing to teach my clients, because when they realize that they're already attracting clients without ever selling, it changes and rocks their world. So I tell my clients, give freely and generously of yourself, of your gifts, of your heart. You will not be taken advantage of when you are energetically in tune with yourself. So be in a Facebook group, start your own Facebook group, create what I call a visibility campaign, which is typically anywhere between 7 to 14 to 21 days of a themed series. Yes, you should be in there every day sharing, but maybe it's a 21-day video series. I started doing video in my Facebook group, and it was 21 days to woo, wow, and win the world. That was what it was called.
I love that.
And it was so fun, and it inspired my new webinar series, which is Messaging, Sizzle, and Marketing Strategy. All of that is free. But do you know what? When I click stop recording on Facebook Live and someone picks up the phone and calls me and is like, I was just watching and I'm coming to California, how much do you charge? Like, that's how it happens, because you are being you, and people get if they want you or need you or not.
Right.
So then let's talk about that segue, because yes, you can keep doing this forever and never make any money. So here's where the strategy comes in. This is where you take it after your visibility campaign that's targeted. So let's say 21 days of some specific messaging. Then you want to get people over to your email list. So you might do a free teleseminar or a webinar or a video series behind an opt-in. That's how you get people on your list. Then you can email market to them and engage with them on social, so they're getting the value and the marketing. And you want to be strategic about how you sell your services. Don't sell them all at once. Really know for the next 8 weeks, I'm going to market this program, this irresistible offer, something that I know my audience wants and needs because they've told me and I've listened, and now I'm going to start selling. It's very strategic. 21 days of visibility, another 21 days of marketing, and then launch a program. And what I mean by launch is that second 21-day period, you're selling, so that if it's a group program or individual coaching or whatever your service is, by the end of those 42 days, if not 50 days, you are receiving money and launching into the next phase, which is implementing what you've promised on. So it's strategic and it's value driven, so that I call it the ultimate win-win, because you get paid and you get to help more people.
Right. Absolutely. And it's something that resonates with you. Again, it should always be playing in your zone of genius, because it doesn't feel like work. Something you're excited to do. Something that's exciting to talk about, and it feels fun. I love that. That's simple enough for anyone to use that's already built a good vibe on Facebook or already has a lot of connections and friends. Because if you don't, really start there, please.
Build engagement first.
Yes. And then move them to the group. And it's fun. I love that you said just narrowing it down to one, because so many get stuck in the trap that they want this menu of choices. You're not McDonald's.
A confused mind says no. So they're going to go, too much, and they're going to run away.
You're not the dollar menu at McDonald's. You're way more valuable than that. Plus, it's super clear. People buy faster because they know what they're getting. It's real simple. Confusion never converts. So it's just, I love that you touched that. That's beautiful. I love the simplicity behind that. Super yummy, magnetizing your marketing, your energy, being you. How much fun does it get? I mean, seriously, it just keeps getting better.
It's pretty awesome.
I think some of us are just naturally doing this anyway. We just didn't realize it was a strategy. So I think some of us, we just need to tweak it and kind of hone down all these yummy tools and nuggets that you've given us today. I love it. So with that, we're not going to just leave you with all that yumminess, which is plenty, but Lisa's also got a free offer for you guys, another great tool on top of all the tools she just gave you. So go ahead and share that too, please. It's like winning the lottery today.
I know, it's all kinds of wins. So I have an audio training series at It Factor for Entrepreneurs, and it's really walks you step by step through the process of messaging, marketing, magnetizing, and monetizing your next irresistible offer. So it's a 4-part audio training series that walks you step by step.
Perfect. No excuses for not doing it now. You're so equipped.
Yeah, do it. Like, listen and implement, because I always say, people are like, how have you accomplished everything you've accomplished? And I'm like, it's not rocket science. It's dream plus do. Have the dream and do the do.
I saw that on your Facebook. I thought that was super cute. I had to write that. Dream plus do. Some people get stuck in the dream and some people get stuck in the do, don't they?
Exactly. Yeah, we all have a different strength, and it's comfortable to dream, and some of us are way more comfortable with our hustle.
Yes.
It's really marrying the two, and that's how you create an intentional life that lights you up rather than bogs you down.
I love that. We've all had those clients. I have a couple human doings for clients, and I'm like, come on, please just meditate just one time. Because it's the masculine energy. The dream is the feminine. It's like you got to have both for it to be a good balance. Otherwise, you're just, a flood flowing around and without any structure, or you're so masculine, you're pushing everything away. So I like that. Good, yummy stuff. Fabulous interview, Lisa. I'm so excited I got to have you on my series.
Thank you. My pleasure.
So with that being said, guys, I'm super inspired now. I want to go work on something now. She's enlightened me so much. So it's all good things. That's when you know it's a good interview. And the coach over here is like, wow, I got to go do something. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, I want to thank Lisa again for her time, guys. We'll see you again on our next Master Your Marketing Masterclass. Big hugs and big love, guys. Peace out. Bye, guys.